Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we have some updates about the Cassian Andor Disney Plus series. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding Star Wars Coffee for the first time, be sure to always hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And don't forget to check out Star Wars Coffee on Twitter and Twitch. And don't forget to check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise. Links are in the description below.
Do it!
And now let's go to a galaxy far, far away.
This is the way.
The Cassian Andor series at one point seemed to be like it was going to be coming first before the Kenobi series, but at this point it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. If you recall in a couple of videos that I did about the Cassian Andor series, I made the point to say that it was going to be The Mandalorian Season 1, The Clone Wars, The Mandalorian Season 2, Cassian Andor, and then Kenobi. And what this seems to indicate is that Disney Plus is really being very serious about these Star Wars TV shows, wanting them to be just as successful as The Mandalorian was. And it seems that the fact that Kenobi is going through rewrites, and now that the Skywalker saga is done, Ewan McGregor says that they're taking a look at the scripts, making sure that they're all really good, up to snuff. He says that he has seen 90% of them and that they're all really good, and they just want to make sure that they can be the best that they can. Well, it seems like the same thing is going to be happening with the Cassian Andor show, as Geeks Worldwide is reporting that the Cassian Andor show is also going to be figuring out where issues lies as scripts are being reconfigured accordingly, and filming on the Cassian Andor series will begin in June. The series is set to begin filming in June, but the start date has been removed from the calendar and a new one has yet to be set. Just a week ago, Diego Luna, who plays the character, stated that filming will begin this year, and above all else to keep in mind that the show is not cancelled. This same type of thing went around with Kenobi too, saying that it was cancelled and then saying that it was a movie again, saying that it was cancelled again, and then back to the fact that it's a TV show. So the show was announced in 2018 with Stephen Schiff as the showrunner and Jared Bush as the pilot and the writer, but the show quietly went comatose while began working with Kenobi, and then it kind of fell under the radar. Then the Rogue One screenwriter and reshoot director Tony Gilroy stepped in and breathed new life into the series to write a new pilot and direct multiple episodes. At this point, it seems like more script issues than anything have surfaced, which doesn't look good for its June start date. When Kenobi faced the same script issues, Lucasfilm pushed its production date back 5 months, and it will now roll cameras in January rather than August of this year. Alan Tudyk will also be reprising his role as K2SO from Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and no premiere date has been set for this series either. So far, The Mandalorian is the only live-action Star Wars series that has been able to get off the ground, with Season 1 airing in November 2019 and Season 2 just finishing production. And the fact that this is the case seems to indicate to me rather that it's less of a concern for worry rather than the fact that Disney just wants to make everything as good as it can be and, put it on the level of The Mandalorian. And according to Deandra Ross, the Cassian Andor series is also going to be going under some screen rewrites and script rewrites before filming begins, so this seems to be the common thread around the community up to this point. It was announced in November 2018 that a prequel series based on Cassian Andor was in the works. Diego Luna will be returning as Cassian, and Alan Tudyk will also be reprising his Rogue One role as the companion droid K2SO. The series was set to begin filming in June of this year, but according to Geeks Worldwide, script rewrites have been pushed to production, and the start date has been removed from the calendar. This news comes just a week after Diego Luna started that filming would start this year, and that the series would begin its production. The Cassian Andor series isn't the first Star Wars show to be delayed. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series is facing similar problems as the show was put on indefinite hold in the middle of pre-production. Issues stem from the head of Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy being unhappy with the show's script, and the series is now looking for new writers. The original plot was reportedly too similar to that of The Mandalorian. There are even rumors that the show will be stone-headed from 4 episodes instead of its original 6. Lucasfilm and Disney are at a crossroads when it comes to expanding the Star Wars universe. As the end of the Skywalker saga didn't meet Disney's ridiculously high expectations financially, It's imperative that Disney and Lucasfilm choose their next steps regarding the franchise more wisely, and that's what I think the root of this problem really is. Rather than the shows being poorly written or the scripts being not up to snuff, I think the real issue lies with the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm want to make the most money as they can, and seeing the sequel trilogy play out as it did, they want every single movie to make like 7 billion, million, trillion, gazillion dollars. And the fact that the market is so oversaturated at this point with all of this type of sci-fi, fantasy, superhero type of thing, I don't see how realistic that really is anymore at this point. Star Wars is such a niche community that it's going to make money regardless. It's going to make money. It's Star Wars. You have that branding right there. So they just want it. I think it's really just corporate greed at this point, is that they just want to make as much money as they possibly can, and they're just pushing these production dates back until they can get the production to the best that they think it can be, because they think that that's going to impact their bottom line. And I think that's really what's at the bottom of all of this. So that's why we read both of these reports, and the second one here by Screen Rant really hit the nail on the head there with the fact that they say, Screen Rant says that as the end of the Skywalker saga unfortunately ended with more of a whimper than a bang, which is essentially just saying that dollars to donuts, they didn't get as many as they wanted. They didn't make as much money as they wanted, which you shouldn't have expected it to get as much money as they wanted. They were relying on the fact that it's the last episode of the Skywalker saga, when most people just viewed it as the last episode of the sequel trilogy. So take a look at the original trilogy. Episode 6 was the least grossing. Revenge of the Sith, however, was a different story, because this was the fall of Anakin to Darth Vader, which we all knew was coming and most people wanted to see. So that was its own little thing. But then you take the regular formula back for the sequel trilogy, and that's just how it is. The third installment of the film is usually the least intriguing. I think this also happened with like the Divergent series and the Hunger Games and all of that. The more you make, the less money that they make in the end, because the market has become oversaturated with it and people lose interest after a certain one, and that's just how it works. So Disney was just relying on the fact that it's Star Wars in the last episode of the Skywalker saga to make more money than they thought possible. So I think they're just taking their time, trying to get everything the best they can so that they can make as much money on it as possible, and that's the reality of it. But if you disagree with me, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But thank you guys for watching. May God bless you and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.